I want to talk about what is currently streaming or screaming on an app near you.
I'm Marisol McKee,
And I'm Adam Collins,
both singles champions from the Movie Trivia Schmodown.
and this is Champs on Film. Welcome to the first Champs on Film Horror Corner. I don't necessarily pick favorites in terms of media when it comes to horror. I enjoy movies, obviously, music, cereal, whatever it is. I love spooky stuff. In this first episode of the Horror Corner, I'm going to be focusing on some new TV and some new movies, all of which are out now. So let's get started. It's currently May of 2026, and if any of you are paying attention, it's an especially busy month for the genre of horror. My most recent discovery on Apple TV is a show called Widow's Bay, created by Katie Dippold, known best for her work on Parks and Recreation. And like Parks and Recreation, this is a municipal set show. Widow's Bay is a fictional island off the coast of New England. So this is an isolated community, similar to the setup of Mike Flanagan's Midnight Mass, if you're familiar with that show. Matthew Rhys plays the local mayor, Tom Loftus. He is trying to bring Widow's Bay into the modern day, but a lot of the locals push back on that agenda quite a bit. In the beginning, you're not sure if it's because the mayor is pushing too hard to bring tourists into the town, or if maybe there's something more to what the locals are saying about the history and legends of the town.
Was there cannibalism?
No. I don't think that's right.
Now, I mentioned Matthew Rhys, and he's terrific. He anchors the show so well. He's legitimately funny, he's a really good actor, and he bounces off all of the other people in such quirky, fun ways. We also have recent Emmy winner Jeff Hiller, Dale Dickey. A lot of people know from Breaking Bad, but Stephen Root steals a lot of the scenes as Wick. This is a horror show first, a comedy second. The humor blends so well into the story. David Fleming does a fantastic job as the composer for this show. The music is very memorable. There's a recurring theme throughout it that I just can't get out of my head. I love the music. Wonderful tension. Widow's Bay is going to be 10 episodes long. What I will say is week to week, this show continues to reinvent itself while linking to the previous events in very creative ways. If I could sum up in a very simple pitch, Widow's Bay blends all the best parts of Stephen King, Twin Peaks, and funny things about Parks and Recreation. But as soon as I get comfortable with the laughter, I end up terrified. It's so much fun. All right, Widow's Bay, watch it. Now, moving into the world of cinema, there's a lot of stuff going on. The first movie I want to discuss is Damien McCarthy's Hokum. Now, Damien McCarthy is an Irish filmmaker. He has two films before this, Caveat and Oddity, both of which I enjoyed. And for me, Hokum is the next step. He's Irish, his movies are set in Ireland, and this one's no exception. The difference is Adam Scott is our protagonist. Misanthropic American author Ohm Bauman, a very interesting and quirky dude. Adam Scott's a perfect choice to play this author because he is, to be frank, kind of a dick. And Mr. Bauman is an author, a successful one at that, but he's reached a point in his life where he's moved to commit his parents' remains. He wants to fly to Ireland and disperse their ashes at the local inn where they spent their honeymoon. It doesn't take long for this party to get started. And similar to Widow's Bay, this movie balances the humor and the horror so well. Once Ohm Bauman gets over to Ireland and checks into that hotel and meets some of the locals, it becomes pretty clear to him that a lot of them hold very firm beliefs in some of the local legends about the hotel. There are legends about what may or may not be in the basement, for example. I wouldn't recommend going down there. This hotel is most definitely a spooky place. What I really like about the way Hokum is set up is Damien McCarthy does a great job of establishing the sense of place. It's set up so vividly. I'm a big fan of horror video games. Going back to Silent Hill and Resident Evil, what those games do well isn't just make you scared because something comes around the corner. They make you figure things out. And Hokum thrives on that kind of storytelling. It's very satisfying and equally frustrating to watch Adam Scott's character figure out things throughout the movie in that way. Now, Zach Krager is going to be releasing his Resident Evil movie later this year, and he has emphasized that he has put a huge focus on integrating those gameplay elements into his storytelling. And if Hokum is any indication of how that can go, I think it opens up a lot of doors. But long story short, it's a very, very thrilling adventure. And as spooky as it is, it makes you smile. If for whatever reason you're unable to find Hokum in theaters, I think this is one of those rare ones that is worth the $19.99 rental. And I think this will be one that I revisit from time to time. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, a movie that I was able to see with Marisol, and that is Curry Barker's Obsession. Now, Curry Barker is a name I'm familiar with. He's a YouTube filmmaker who has been getting a lot of traction in recent years. He's on the younger side, 26 years old, but you wouldn't know it when you watch this movie. It is so confidently directed. Now, if you're familiar with monkey paw type stories, Obsession starts from that point of view. It is a wish gone bad movie, but it goes ways you are not going to expect.
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
What won me over from the opening with Obsession was how naturalistic it was. Michael Johnson plays the main character, Bear, short for Baron. And then Indy Navarrete plays the object of his affection, Nikki. And these two, I can't say enough. I think Nikki is the most fascinating character study of this movie. Navarette's performance has layer upon layer in it. I cannot wait to rewatch this movie, knowing how it ends and seeing how her performance is affected by those events throughout. What hooked me about Obsession was the mixture of its familiarity with a distinct point of view. It's pinned down, it's relatable, and that's why it gets really scary when it gets scary. It plays fair. It doesn't operate in the realm of cheap jump scares or tactless gore. What I will say it does really well is it balances all of its shocking elements with emotion, and it never, ever over explains its premise, which, as we know as horror fans, is done all too often.
Oh, no, don't say that! I thought we were having a nice day!
We are.
This film has a certain element of comedy that's very satisfying, and it's played up at only certain points in the movie. It's never slapstick, though, and the dread never goes away. Now, I've read and seen some Curry Barker interviews since this movie has come out. I'm really impressed with him. He's got another movie coming out within the next year or so that's about bogus paranormal ghost hunters who discover a real ghost. I've seen that premise done before. Two of my favorites are Deadstream and The Innkeepers. But after seeing Obsession and the way he flips a familiar idea on its head, I cannot wait to see what he does with this. He's also been greenlit for a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre project at A24. Give it to me. I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre done to death, and I've seen it done very poorly. So we have nothing to lose at this point. If you're telling me the Obsession guy wants to do Texas Chainsaw, I'm in. Please. All right. Well, thank you for coming to my first Horror Corner. I'm really excited to do more of these. To recap, go to Apple TV, watch some Widow's Bay. You will not regret it. If you didn't see Hokum in theaters, you still have a chance in certain zip codes, but it's worth the $20 rental. And I think I'm catching you in time to get you to Obsession. So please go support that movie. It made back its budget in one weekend. Keep adding to the pile. Horror movies like this deserve to be supported. And the party's not over yet. I am excited specifically for Andre Overdahl's Passenger, which is coming out in the next week or so. And then after that, we're rounding out the month with another up-and-coming YouTube director. Kane Parsons' Backrooms is coming out. Really thrilled about that one. In the meantime, please tune in to Champs on Film on YouTube. Tell your friends. You can also find us on Twitter, Blue Sky, Letterboxd, anywhere that matters. I'm at Eisenthor. My beautiful and lovely wife and partner in crime, at Marisol_Mariah, on all those same platforms. Also, just one last reminder, Tales from the Crypt is finally streaming on Shudder. Go watch it. That's my PSA for the day. Thank you. Screaming now.